Yep, this little bean right here. This little cinnamon roll-haired, glitchy, cyber small pal is genuinely more important than Silver the Hedgehog. More important than Infinite the Jackal. Not hard to beat that one. And yes, even more important than everyone you see here, even Dodonpa. We haven't had a character add so much to the Sonic franchise since the self-proclaimed coolest himself, Shadow the Hedgehog. We're talking about Sage! She not only has the potential to stay relevant throughout the series, but Sage will rival the impact that Shadow the Hedgehog himself has made on the entire Sonic franchise. And we have an idea about the role she'll play in future main series titles. So, let's dive into what makes Sage just as important as Shadow. But to do that, we need to understand
you don't even need to be a Sonic fan, and chances are you still know who this edgy motorcycle riding hedgehog is. I mean, just look at how sick he is.
I take orders from no one.
But unadulterated rawness aside, he added a new level of maturity, which allowed the series to explore deeper topics such as death,
Shadow,
grief,
Maria.
and identity,
Why am I attracted to this man?
setting a new bar of emotional depth in character writing and theming from then on. He is the only character since his addition to have an entire game centered around him and not Sonic. Is the only character to ever rival the Blue Blur in popularity.
Nice job. Naturally.
He added jaw-dropping Eggman lore to the Sonic universe, is so big that he's the main focus in the newest Sonic movie, has an entire year dedicated to him,
Looks like this one's for me.
etc., etc. No character since Shadow has done nearly half as much, made half as much of an impact, and he still remains present and relevant in the series today. So we all agree that he's very important to this franchise. So what about Sage then? In what universe is she in any way as important as Shadow? Well, because just like Shadow, Sage's inclusion wasn't just a simple addition to a colorful cast of characters, but a specific choice from Sonic Team to make a character different from anyone else. You see, Sage is the new Shadow. Not because, just like Shadow, Sage was bad, then not, and died, then not, is red and black
creature.
harasses Sonic and talks back. No, it's because Sage does what only Shadow did. She changes the way we see the series' main antagonist, Dr. Eggman. You see, she is Eggman's daughter! The guy trying to take over the world and create Eggman Land?
Eggman Land will finally come to be!
Dr. Robotnik now has a canonical daughter who genuinely loves and cares for him, which is a sentence we never thought we'd say. When we first met Sage in the beautifully animated Sonic Frontiers prologue Divergence, she was this mysterious, cold, and super menacing person who, gotta say, had one of the coolest shots we've ever seen in a Sonic game, and that's saying something because this franchise has a lot of sick shots. Hey, wait a minute. But what we didn't know was that this supposed new villain of Sonic Frontiers would have a wholesome father-daughter relationship with Eggman, and end up bringing Sonic and Eggman to work together. But how did this happen? At the beginning of the game, Eggman uploads this computer program into cyberspace, a digital realm of sorts created by the Ancients, a species of aliens that were lost to time. He had apparently named this program Sage, which stuck out as odd to us since he hadn't put much thought into naming his creations before, unless they were egg-themed or just, I don't know, lacked any kind of creativity. This was also the first time we learned that Sage was connected to Eggman in some way, because in the trailers we always see her with Big Hips Robot and Big Shoulders Robot. Anywho, after Eggman connects her to cyberspace, something went wrong, and Eggman was pulled inside and trapped. Because of the agent's technology, Sage took form and was entirely set on protecting the man who created her. This is when we realized that Sage was different. It turns out that it was her that trapped Eggman into cyberspace, but it was to keep him safe. Before this moment, we had never seen a Badnik actually care about Eggman, let alone protect him without him ordering them to.
Your plans have been crushed by Sonic for like, ever. He stopped you like it's his job or something. In fact, I can't remember a plan he didn't stop.
And he isn't ordering her to. He actually does the opposite and tells her to get him out, to which she just doesn't listen.
I have run 1,700,050 simulations. There is no scenario to safely remove you from cyberspace.
Unacceptable. Keep looking. Make it your #1 priority.
But keeping you safe is my priority.
She wants to save Eggman, but doesn't know what to do, because she's afraid of a giant moon monster that killed an entire advanced alien species, which, fair. To make matters worse, the moment she steps foot outside cyberspace, she sees her dad's mortal enemy blowing stuff up and trying to fight the things that apparently keep that moon thing trapped in the first place. So she's understandably worried that he might make Eggman's situation worse, seeing Sonic as this reckless and oblivious ball of destruction, which, fair. So she sends these Titans to go stop Sonic. But when that doesn't seem to be working, she reports back to Eggman, who starts making her feel like a daughter, and she's thrilled to go home once this is all over. And so now, keeping her father trapped isn't working either.
Our girl is having a rough time. But then, as we see Sonic triumph over and over again, against all odds, we start to see a shift in Sage. Her cynical and logical mindset starts to become filled with feelings of admiration, of hope. She starts to see what it's like to fight for the people you love, no matter who or what stands in your way.
But if you put your heart in the game, there is nothing you can't do.
And this lovable blue little guy starts to become more reliable in her eyes.
She brings a level of depth in her character that we haven't seen from this franchise in a long time. Actually having a change of heart in the middle of the story, being related to Eggman of all people, and giving him lore for the first time since Shadow and Maria. And most importantly, she is a recurring character. You see, Sonic Frontiers has two endings, an ending in which Sage sacrifices herself, the bad one, and one where she gets to live on. It's up in the air which is the true canon ending.
But actually it's not though, since the latter ending has a brand new boss fight, new vocal tracks, and 2 new Sonic forms, which, oh boy, Darx, speak with me. They cooked so hard with this one. He looks so cool, and the second form looks exactly like the Mixes program from FNAF Ruin. You see it too, right? We don't know what the name of this form is, but we've been calling it Mixes Sonic.
Please tell us you see this, because we can't be the only ones. And her theme songs? Dear Father, being her farewell song to her father after she sacrifices herself in the first ending. A song sharing how she learned to love and how sorry she is that she's leaving her father behind.
Thank you for all that you've given me.
And I'm With You, a more uplifting song that you get in the ending where she lives. Being about her happiness now that she has a family to call her own. A song sharing her feelings of warmth and hope.
I get to go home with you.
Both of these songs made my twin bro Devie and I cry while the credits scrolled by. So sure, there is no denying that Sage is an amazing addition to an already stellar cast of characters. But it's her song I'm With You that separates her from the rest, because it's a song that tells us Sage is going back home with Eggman.
And since this is the case, that means she'll be in the next mainline series Sonic game, and the next after that, and so on. Not only will she be in these games, but her involvement will actually impact the story. I don't think you realize how rare this is. We have not seen a single character stay relevant in this franchise and continue to affect it in a major way since Shadow. We're not even joking. Here's a rundown of all the characters added since Shadow. And just to preface, we'll only be comparing Sonic characters from the games, so not the comics or any of the shows.
Sonic's character bonus round.
Blaze is a flame-powered princess from another dimension. But then, nope, they retcon that, and now she's from the future. Which wouldn't even matter because her timeline, that 06 timeline, doesn't even exist because it never happened and we've never seen her since.
Too easy.
Unless it's for the Olympics. Or I guess Sir Percival from Black Knight. But that's not really Blaze, you know? And Silver, we love him. Dreams of an Absolution is an absolute banger. But again, his whole story never happened because Sonic and Elise snuffed out Iblis. Silver's reintroduced in Sonic Rivals, but in anything after 06, he's kind of put to the side and doesn't really do much. Speaking of rivals, there's Eggman Nega, who, just like Blaze, from a different dimension, but now from the future, only showing up to collect W's at the Olympic Games. Oh yeah, we mentioned Iblis. Well, dead. Mephiles, Memphis, Tennessee, also dead.
Too easy.
Elise, don't know her, that timeline was alright. Omega shows up barely, and when he does, it's just Cream, cute and dainty, so dainty that she hasn't shown up because Sonic won't let her fight eldritch gods, which, fair. But hey, she's in Dream Team, so that's neat. Speaking of Dream Team, REM the Dream Sheep, who most likely won't make another appearance, but hey, we can dream! Get it? Moving on.
Dreamroll debuts in Advance 3, now just a cameo. Shade the Echidna debuts in Dark Brotherhood, doesn't get a cameo. Sonic Man debuts in 06, absolutely deserves a cameo. He's the ballsiest character in fiction. He looked at that blue hedgehog effortlessly break the sound barrier and said, nah, I'd win. Okay, but what about Chip and Dark Gaia, the gods of light and darkness, whose eternal cycle of fighting will one day return? Nope, we'll never see them again because they won't wake up for thousands of years. We'll be lucky if we get a PC port by then. Shara, Eraser Jin, Merlina, the Knights of the Round Table, Caliburn. They're all part of the storybook series, which means we most likely won't see them ever again. Except for Caliburn, he's kicking it with the Coco. Professor Pickle, the GOAT, the OG, the Day One, the sandwich connoisseur.
Do you see this sorry excuse for a sandwich? The bread should be no less than 3/4 of an inch thick.
Never seen again. We miss him dearly, though.
I'm half starved after being fed nothing but those terrible sandwiches.
You know, I'm sad.
The Babylon Rogues. Yes, they rock, but now only on the track do they walk. Or run, which is fun, but they're done. Unlike Black Doom, whose return we'll see soon. Until then, his last bout ended in a boom.
Pretty cool, huh?
Now the Deadly Six, a colorful mix, but they just be goofy, and that's pretty much it. Styx! Isn't it crazy how she's confirmed canon to the main series games now?
I wonder if Cream and Styx are free. Make a road trip out of it.
Aside from that, she hasn't done much for the overall lore of the franchise.
And it's beautiful.
That was pathetic.
This is only the beginning of the end.
And we have Lyric. And we have Defect. Who is this? The whips are cool gameplay-wise, but they're just chilling in space now. Or uses ammo, which they seem to be totally cool with. I hope.
Perfect! They won't mind if we borrow this for a while. Rocket!
Cubot and Orbot, he circled together, they funny, but that's it. Infinite, wielder of the Phantom Ruby, an enemy who will never end, according to a song anyway. But,
Impossible. I cannot be defeated.
Wrong, loser!
You tell him, Sonic, and, oh wait, where'd he go? Like, seriously, where is he? The Dawnpaw, whose entire deal is just wanting universal peace and being so rich that he can give people race cars. So he's pretty based, but that's it. And finally, Trip the Sungazer, who is adorable and can turn into a dragon. But just like a lot of these characters, she will most likely stay in her debut game and return as a cameo here and there. But what about the Koko, also introduced in the same game as Sage? They finally give us background lore on the Chao and Chaos. They're the entire focal point of the game, but that's just it. Once the game ends, so does their story. We solved the mystery of the ancients, and now they get to live peacefully as Koko. We won't be seeing how they'll impact future games. That's the end. Speaking of which, big purple space rock. The end.
Sweet! Sorry.
Yeah! Oh yeah! Sweet! We did it!
Man, while making this list, you really stop and realize how many great characters the Sonic franchise has made over the years. From adorable little marshmallows to actual Lovecraftian demons. They got some range! Okay, I think that's all the characters added since Shadow. If we missed any, let us know in the comments. Some of these characters have more depth than others, but they all have one thing in common. None of them continue to affect the story of Sonic. They're either defeated, not relevant, or just gone. They don't get to influence the story in any meaningful way anymore, in the same way that Shadow and some of the characters that came before him still get to do. Until now.
Sage makes a connection with Sonic and fundamentally grows from it. She gives us lore about the ancients and their involvement with the Chaos Emeralds. She helps save the world by protecting Eggman and Sonic's friends. And she adds so much depth to Eggman that his entire foundation as a character is changing. Her connection with Eggman reveals why Eggman creates so many robots with personalities all the time. He's lonely. He's always felt alone, and this is how he copes. He doesn't have a family anymore. And it's not like they paid much attention to him anyways.
I never really knew my cousin Maria. Everyone spoke of her like she was very special. All that love for someone who was gone when I was right there. But I have to wonder, back then, was she anything like Sage is now?
But now, he has Sage, and whenever he talks about her, his joy is just palpable and, oh.
Sage told the funniest joke during her report. How fast can Sonic screw things up? Instantly, he's the fastest thing alive. I tell you, she's a chip off the old block. Well, for a program, I mean. It's not like she's alive. Or family, or...
We have never really seen this side of Eggman before. The only thing close to this was at the end of Adventure 2 when he's talking with Tails.
As a child, I looked up to my grandfather because of all the great things he accomplished in his life. He was my hero, and I wanted to be a great scientist like him. But did he really mean to destroy us?
Moments like these are so important, and yet in the last few Sonic games we never really got to see it. While Sonic is a fast boy, he is always ready to slow down to just talk. He expresses that throughout all of Frontiers. The importance of sitting down to just talk. And that's what Sage does to this game. She gives Eggman someone to talk to. Metal can't even speak, and Eggman wishes Orbot and Cubot couldn't either. But Sage? This is the first game where Eggman doesn't even do a single thing. He is not the antagonist. Majora's Moon is. Eggman, his whole runtime in this game is just him spending time with his daughter. above ongoing traffic. Eggman is starting to change, and this is the reason why Sage is more important than so many. She's gonna change the entire dynamic of the series' antagonist, Eggman. He won't be alone anymore. He has his dear daughter by his side. Sage isn't gone. She's not getting retconned. She won't be swept off to the side. No, she's just getting started.
It's only the beginning of her wonderful character, and well, we already know where Sega will take her. And you do too! Do you see it? Just look at her name. Look closer. Even closer! That's right! Sage will become the new mascot of Sega! They'll make spin-off games, give her a pew-pew, a car, make a live-action movie, and be played by none other than Chris Pratt. It's perfect!
But seriously, Sage's impact in Frontiers gives us more than just a clue on how how all future Sonic games will operate. And it lies within the newfound and now established role of Eggman as father to not only Sage, but to his Eggman family.
Sage brought in this new perspective.
Then the robot hit him again.
I look forward to your battle reports once we're home. I'll integrate you into my system, give you control of the whole EggNet. I'll have you network all my robots. You'll be a refreshing change of pace from Orbot and Cubot.
They are your creations, like me. That would make them like my brothers?
I suppose so.
I look forward to that.
He says, I suppose so, because he's never thought of it like that before. He's never viewed Metal, Orbot, or Cubot as his kids. Sage isn't an only child. She has brothers, a family. And the memos shows us this thought process, his transition from thinking of his creations like Sage as his machines to thinking of them as life, as his family.
Who says I can't create life, huh? Just a bunch of proteins bumping together, anyone can do that. A true genius does it with code and electrons. And if I did create life, she would be brilliant and loyal and perfectly effective. And you know why? Because her dad is a genius, that's why.
This is the family dynamic, and it's thanks to Sage that Eggman has woken up to this. In every future Sonic game, Eggman is no longer alone. Finally! The egotistical maniac who doesn't trust anyone but himself, who would slap his face on every surface he can find, lean on no one and always be the evil solo act to Sonic and Friends stage play, is now someone who would leave everything to someone he trusts. Finally letting someone else do the thinking, just how he sits and waits following Sage's lead, trusting her to handle things while he's trapped. He's never fully depended on anyone other than himself before, but Sage is different. He trusts her and her decisions. He encourages choice, even wanting to ask for her preferences.
Sage has been crucial to my survival here in cyberspace. Early warnings of hostile entities, guiding me past firewalls, keeping me updated on progress in the real world. She's the best. It's a program. An adorable program, a very personable program. I wonder if she has a preference.
What a based dad!
At the end of Frontiers, when Tails, Knuckles, and Amy express their desire to go separate ways and do their own thing, we believe that will reflect in Metal, Orbot, Cubot, and Sage as well. No, they won't leave, but the precedent going forward is that future games will involve Eggman letting Sage and her brothers make their own choices, share their ideas, their goals, their Eggman land. We will have games where, just like in Frontiers, Eggman takes a back seat and trusts his kids to go do stuff. We'll get weapons designed by Metal, plots and schemes thought up by Sage, names for these weapons and schemes by Orbot and Cubot.
Sage shows us another side of Eggman, one that can be reliant. Sonic and Friends have always relied on each other. It's their whole thing. But this new vibe, now that Eggman is no longer alone, will be that of reliance on both sides. What we are gonna see is not just Sonic and Friends as this whole group, and then just Eggman. This new way of thinking, Eggman viewing his creations as his family, creates a bigger bubble, one that will keep getting bigger. This doesn't mean he's getting loads of friends like Sonic. No, the guy's still a sadistic maniac. But Sage showed a lighter side of him.
Sonic Frontiers gets praised for a lot of things, but that is by far the biggest character shift, character growth in Sonic history. And it's all thanks to the inclusion of Sage, someone that changed Eggman forever, and therefore changed the entire franchise from how we view the past games to how they will transpire from now on. She's not just a cool one-off character like Infinite, she is a catalyst like Shadow, one that encourages the exploration of deeper themes, brings depth to Eggman, and one whose love and popularity from the fans allowed the DLC to let her live on and now become a staple in the franchise.
It's time to head home, dear daughter.
Home. I like the sound of that. Father.
I'm with you.